Miss Lichtman. How long have you been sitting there?
Not long, Mr. Kelso.
You look lovely, Princess. You haven't exactly caught me at my best. It's okay, Miss Lichtman. I'm a big boy. I know how to take my licks.
Please, call me Elsa.
Okay, Elsa? What can I do for you?
I'd like to explain because
I can join the dots, Elsa.
Cole needs your help, Jack. The police department have frozen him out.
Look, you're obviously a brave lady, but you can't fight all Cole's battles for him.
I just wanted to apologize for...
You don't have to apologize. You were right about Elysian Fields. Tell me something. What was Lou Buckwalter's regular job?
He was a carpenter. He built sets for RKO, Warner Brothers.
Set carpenter? Perfect. If you don't mind, Elsa, I'd like to get a little rest now. I've got a lot more dots to join, and it's making my head hurt.
That's perfectly understandable, Mr. Jack. I hope we can meet again under less dramatic circumstances.
I hope so too, Princess. I'd like that.
You Kelso?
Who's asking?
Peterson, assistant DA.
You're in the wrong building, Peterson. This is a hospital.
A wise guy. Let me tell you a story, Kelso.
Can I get the abridged version? My head hurts.
You're a funny guy, Jack.
What do you want, Peterson?
A colorful character mentioned your name. He said that you might know something about...
There's a problem with colorful characters, Peterson. First they send you over a drink, then they buy you dinner, then you get a phone call in the middle of the night for a favor. Try rubbing shoulders with some solid citizens. They're the ones you're supposed to protect.
You finished, Kelso?
For the moment.
I'm going to run for DA, Kelso. The current administration stinks.
And you want me to help?
I'm looking for a DA's investigator. You get a gun and a badge and $120 a month.
I get $150 a month now.
I'm going after the Vice Squad, Kelso. It's going to get me elected.
I've got something better. How about Leland Monroe?
The property developer?
You think I fell down the stairs? Thanks for the patch-up, Princess. Might be the only R&R I get for some time. Remember me?
Jack, it's good to see you. You've caught me at a slightly inopportune moment. Can we do this some other time?
Back off, Curtis. Move away from the door.
Jack, there's no call for that.
You're smooth, Curtis. I'll give you that.
How could you accuse me of having anything to do with that?
I want to know all about you and Monroe, Curtis. You give it up or I beat it out of you.
Get the fuck out of here, Jack. You're fired. Who do you think you are? Get out of town now while you still have the chance. You have no idea what kind of forces you're dealing with here.
I guess we've exhausted the passive options. Sit tight, Curtis. I'm taking a look around. How old are you, Princess?
16, mister?
How old are you, really?
Nearly 13.
You take love where you can find it as you get older.
Love? That has nothing to do with love, Curtis.
Some might find your romantic notions endearing, Jack. I find them very tiring.
You're finished, Curtis.
That remains to be seen, Jack.
I haven't told you about my new job, Curtis. DA's investigator.
Who do you think the DA reports to, Jack?
Get dressed, you're getting out of here.
He's not so bad. He just lays on top of me and grunts for a few minutes. He's kind. And he buys me nice things.
Get dressed, you're leaving.
She will only come back.
I want answers, Curtis. So pay attention.
Please, Jack. I'm not a violent man.
I don't get it, Curtis. You're vice president of the company. Why take the risk?
It's a simple business transaction, dear boy.
You're lying, Curtis. Something happened at the company, didn't it? That's why you took the bribe.
Bribe? What bribe? How can you accuse me of benefiting ahead of the company?
I noticed that the share certificates are in your name, Curtis, not the company's. What did you use as collateral?
Those sons of bitches in Sacramento. They passed me over for president. Sent me here because they believed it was a backwater. But they were wrong. Los Angeles will become the capital of the West, not San Francisco. This place will be the city of the 20th century. And I'm gonna get my cut, Jack.
You're going to jail, Curtis. You and your cronies.
We'll see about that, Jack.
Tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
You're talking about the future of Los Angeles. You cannot interfere with these plans.
Information, Curtis.
Business people who have joined forces to meet the demand for new homes.
You and Monroe are going to scam those guys out of their GI bond.
Jack, you are so naive.
Why the big payoff in the Buckwalter case? It was bound to bring it to attention.
Who could have predicted this particular confluence of events? Elsa Lichtman as the beneficiary who spurns the cash. The brilliant but flawed detective becoming her lover. And you, Jack, taking their bait.
You buy green lumber and use it to build houses. How do you expect it to end?
Mr. Monroe has a fine reputation for building houses. What would I know about his choice of building materials?
You smug son of a bitch, you're lying again. It's an insurance scam, pure and simple.
And how do you prove that, Jack? My assessors wrote the policies on the houses. I only approve the reports, Jack. I'm the rubber stamp. This doesn't come back to me.
Very neat, Curtis. Maybe I can't work it out, but Phelps can. He may be many things, but he is one of the best detectives the LAPD has ever had.
Your card is marked, Jack. You'll have an unfortunate accident if you don't leave town.
Your California isn't the same as mine, Mr. Benson. Not at all.
With affiliates in Los Angeles, California, New York.
I'm just going up to my office, Barty. Gotta check over some files.
Take the elevator. First door on the right when you come out. You know the way, Kelso.
Hey, there's such a thing as so. It's quite hard to standing there staying.
So, Curtis, what is it you don't want me to see?
I have a Detective Phelps of the LAPD here to see you.
Have a seat, Cole. Where's the go-between? She's awful easy on the eye for a foreign girl.
Does that private dick petter actually work on anyone, Kelso? It's not your style. You were always a little more direct.
This is your dime, officer.
Would you have helped me if I asked, Jack? A little chuck on the shoulder, shot of Semper Fi.
Fuck you, Cole. Be a man. Why send a woman to do your dirty work? You're a cop. Why do you want my help?
I thought a PI might be a little more discreet.
I'm no gumshoe. I used to be an investigator for this company before your investigation got me fired.
Sorry to hear that, Jack. Sorry about a lot of things.
Is that an apology, Cole?
It's a feeble attempt at one, yes. Look, Jack, it's a murder case, and I need help to solve it.
So what's it got to do with Elysian Fields developments?
They're in it somehow. The flyers keep turning up whenever I find a domestic fire.
They're boosters. Stiffing GIs for deposits, making them wait months for a throw-up house. They're already making more money than they can count. What's turned them into killers?
So you believe me?
This is why you dragged me into the Buckwalter case.
Look, Jack, I'm sorry. But if not for me, do it for some of the poor saps who are dying. Or some of the leathernecks who are getting grifted. How about it, Jack?
I know you, Cole. You're still beating yourself up over that medal on Sugarloaf. The medal you think you didn't deserve, but you just don't get it. Nobody deserves a medal. It's just the ridiculous situation you find yourself in and how you react to it. You think you failed up on that hill. But courage isn't a tap you can turn on or off. Courage isn't permanent. It's a tenuous and fickle thing. Courage and cowardice exist in every man. Get over it.
You got it off your chest.
I guess I have.
Can you help me, Jack?
I'm thinking about it. The Hall of Records is the place to start. I'd like to see the company details of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Certainly, sir. Just this way.
All those suburban sons of bitches ought to be listed in here. What to do with this? I'd like information on a plot of land.
Okay, do you have the address?
Not exactly. It's a new lot. I have the coordinates. 34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west.
All right, that makes it a bit more difficult. Come with me. I believe that is in the Wilshire area. Here. Unfortunately, that is just the beginning. We have at least 1 million lot numbers in the Los Angeles area. Registrations are in alphabetical order. You need to convert your lot number to a letter.
How do I do that?
Over here, use this adding machine. There are 90,000 entries to a book, so divide your lot number by 90,000.
186. 1876988 divided by 20.
A starts at 0, so you want to add 1 to your number.
21.
That number is your letter of the alphabet. Once you have the letter, find the right aisle, and you are in business.
You do this every day? Let's see what the site is worth to them. 500. They can make a killing. But how do they pull it off?
Know why I plumbed for the caddy? The extra trunk space.
One thing you learn in the war, boys. You do your talking once the smoke clears. Christ, just missed. Who's asking?
Leland Monroe.
I was wondering when you'd get around to calling.
I'd like to meet with you, Mr. Kelso.
I bet you would, Mr. Monroe. But I value my skin highly enough to not want to meet with you. Why don't you just send some more of your boys around and we'll have a nice cup of tea?
You realize that I could make you a very wealthy man, Mr. Kelso.
Better than $220 a month?
You're a very witty man, Kelso. Substantially better.
I'm going to have to let it slide, Mr. Monroe.
Are you haggling with me, Jack?
I might be.
Come around to my place at 9. 5164 Santa Monica Boulevard. You'll come?
I might. Good night, Mr. Monroe. I appreciate the help, all of you. We can reminisce later. I want a minimum of noise and no prisoners.
No prisoners? This isn't Pelelu, Jack.
These guys are grifting GIs. That's what they do for a living.
It's okay, Jack. We all feel the same way. Just hasn't turned out quite the way we imagined.
Let's get it done. Teams of 2 at the ready. All right, men, hold the perimeter. I got personal business with Mr. Leland Monroe. You're surrounded! very sweet-looking girl to be holding such a big gun.
I know how to use it, mister.
I'm sure you do. So how about pointing it over there in the direction of Hollywood instead of at me, Princess?
You're quite the wise guy.
I don't normally shoot women, Princess. How about putting the cannon down? I didn't think you had the guts, sweetheart. I was never very good at reading women. Monroe! Where are you, damn it? Keep on going, Jack.
Jack Kelso.
That's my opening negotiating position.
Oh, you crazy son of a bitch! How did you get in here? I'm bleeding to death. Get me a doctor.
I thought I had an invitation, Monroe. Your boys outside were certainly expecting me. That's my second offer.
You sadistic bastard! What do you want?
I'm going to take a look around, Monroe. Then I want you to tell me what you know about the mayor and those Trojan houses that you're building.
It can't be stopped, Kelso. There's too much money at stake.
Kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall, Monroe. Ask the Emperor of Japan.
Have some fucking mercy!
Operator, put me through to Phelps, arson squad. Yeah, Biggs, it's Jack. I'm at Monroe's. He's in a talkative mood. If you get here in a hurry, you might get something before he bleeds to death. Elsa.
Oh, thank God.
Where? Fontaine. Dead? Former patient.
So that crazy son of a bitch finally came back for a checkup.
It's Monroe. He's raving.
You want information, cocksucker. You get me some medical help.
I've got to go, Herschel. Monroe's negotiating again. Do you want my final offer, Leland? Tell me how I find the guy who has Elsa.
Not Casey. He did whatever Fontaine asked. He had some kind of power over him. He did all the fires, and then he went off the rails. I don't have a fucking name! He worked as a bug sprayer. Get me a goddamn doctor! Kelso, you son of a whore! Get me a goddamn doctor!
Jack. There's a statewide APB out on it.
Jack's okay. He has something up his sleeve. He's not worried about being caught.
How do we help?
We go after the other side of the equation. Jack has a legion and its cronies running scared. We go after the doctor and some of the other guys.
But the whole department breathing down our necks.
It's time for action, Herschel. It's time for change. Jack's crossed the Rubicon, and we have to be on the other side.
What was that?
Explosion. Something big.
You think it's the Reds? You think those Rusky sons of bitches that dropped the H-bomb on us?
Calm down, Herschel. We need to be ready for the call.
I'm not waiting for an invitation. Get in the car and head for the cloud. KGPL can give us the details on the way.
All units, reports of an explosion. Location, alternative location is south of Santa Monica. West of all units, car 88K reports an explosion.
We have looters around the corner. Cuff them or put them down. We need to get this area under control.
You little prick! Get that bastard, Cole!
Now ain't the time to be looking for a profit, asshole!
Commander will want us to see. Let's go.
Jesus. I never seen nothing like this.
I wish I could say the same. It's like a bomb's gone off. Jesus Christ. Poor people.
We gotta find out what went down.
What in God's name happened here?
Wasn't nuclear. If it was, we'd all be dead from the radiation.
That's reassuring. What's radiation?
Everyone inside the factory was vaporized. Look at the size of that crater.
What's going on over there?
The mayor's going on television, appealing for calm.
Television? Who can afford one of those things?
Anything to go on?
You're looking at the remains of Nicholson electroplating. I have an idea of what might have caused the explosion, but I'm only guessing. Have a look around the rubble, see if you come up with anything.
World's turned upside down.
Then it's time for us to do our job.
That's it, Mr. Mayor. We're wrapped.
I'm Fred Nicholson.
This is your place?
What's left of it. 32 years of work up in smoke.
Can you tell us what happened?
Our chief chemist, Harold McClellan, was using this area to test the new process.
What exactly is this new process?
That's classified information, son.
A lot of people died here, Mr. Nicholson. I'm prepared to go to the press and tell them it was your fault. What is the new process?
A way to chemically polish aluminum. It's traditionally done by hand. It's extremely labor-intensive. The process could be worth millions.
Who is Tomoko Akamoto?
Dr. McClellan's personal assistant. She came highly recommended.
So you hire a chemical whiz kid and his assistant without checking either one of them out?
Hindsight is a great thing, Detective. And I should have looked more closely at their references.
What can you tell us about McClellan?
A brilliant chemist. He approached me a few months ago with the idea for the new process.
So no one has ever done this before?
No, but it's legitimate research.
You sure this wasn't some kind of insurance play gone wrong? I'm clean about it, Mr. Nicholson, and it will go better for everyone.
You have some basis for that accusation, do you, Sonny?
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that? So you thought McClellan could do what no one else could do. You were prepared to take that risk.
Look, he was a trained chemist, and his ideas could revolutionize electroplating.
And you would be rich.
I'm a businessman. What's wrong with turning a buck?
You blew up 6 blocks. God knows how many people are dead.
I regret that.
That's laudable.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Nicholson. Can you send us Dr. McClellan and Miss Akamoto's personnel files?
I will if I can find them.
By the way, we also found the collar of a shirt. It has a laundry tag.
They're likely to be Dr. McClellan. And the majority of people who work here don't use a laundry service.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going? You think McClellan went up?
Well, well. Why the cloak and dagger routine, Miss Akamoto?
You think I could fit in there? I couldn't fit in there.
I'd like to think you would have had something more to say about getting shoved in a fridge, Herschel. Dear class ring. James Lindbergh. Very expensive watch. Figured by flyboys. I always wanted one as a kid.
That's funny. As a kid, all I wanted was some food on the table.
You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
Herschel, let's roll.
All right, all right.
It's trying to sleep, and you but in
$1 per month.
It's a military project, gentlemen. Can you state your business?
Detectives, Phelps and Biggs, LAPD. We're investigating the explosion. We have reason to believe there may be a link to Hughes' aircraft.
I'm sorry, I can't help you there, Detective. Without authorization from military HQ, you won't be allowed onto this facility.
What seems to be the problem, gentlemen? Hey, Biggs, you're not still with the LAPD.
Right so, mates. Can you help us out here?
Sure. What seems to be the problem?
We're working the big explosion at the electroplating plant. Found a part there that belongs to one of your planes.
I work head of security for Mr. Hughes now. I'll take full responsibility. I'm sure we can clear this up. Follow me. It's the big hangar. You can't miss it.
Rise and shine, please.
We now return you to the illegal relic.
Who is Mapes? What's his connection to Howard Hughes?
Vernon Mapes used to work Advice. Word is he runs flux pads for Hughes' starlets.
A pimp. Earl and Mapes.
Follow me.
Good day, miss. That thing really fly?
Mr. Hughes believes so. Amazing, isn't she?
So, This is the spruce.
Jesus Christ, Biggs, you want to get me fired? Mr. Hughes hates that fucking name. It's the H4 Hercules to you.
You mind answering a few questions, Mr. Biggs?
Call me Vernon, kid. Fire away.
You know anything about the explosion that happened at Nicholson Electroplating this morning?
No more than anyone else. Heard the boom while I was shaving. Almost shit my pants. Thought it was Pearl all over again.
But you had no personal contact with any of the employees. And you have no idea what caused the explosion.
I'm in security. I handle Mr. Hughes' personal interests, if you get my meaning. I'm not directly involved in manufacturing.
Do you know Tomoko Akamoto?
Never heard of the broad. Why?
You don't happen to wear an LAPD tie pin, do you, Mace?
Sometimes. I have a couple of them from my days on the force.
Do you know the chief chemist at Nicholson Electroplating, a Harold McClellan?
I've heard of the guy. He was pitching some fancy process to the company.
We know that you were sending parts to Nicholson for testing. Question is whether you were going through Nicholson or cutting your own deal with McClellan.
Interesting theory, kid. How you gonna prove any of that?
We found a prop spinner in the wreckage. We believe it belongs to this aircraft.
We sent them some aluminum parts to test. Howard and the Boffins were interested in this guy McClellan's theories. McClellan was cutting out Nicholson. That's not our problem.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Mapes. Do you mind if we have a look around while we're here?
Sure. Knock yourself out.
Want to take?
Thanks for the tour, Mapes.
Always happy to help the department. Hey, don't I know your face from the papers? You're the cop that's stripping that German broad.
Nah, I think you got the wrong guy, Vernon.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Shake a leg, Herschel.
Phelps, I'm coming.
So McClellan was selling his new process to Hughes and cutting out Nicholson.
What does that mean? This would never walk.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
I didn't come to California to be a secretary.
Any messages for me, Hopkins?
Not many you'd want to hear. Newspapers wanting interviews and rookies cussing you out mostly.
Nothing else.
Pinker wants you in tech services. Maybe you'll be more popular downstairs.
I'm telling you, it'll never stick.
Where do you stand?
I think you're a good cop, but I try and stay out of politics.
Everybody tries to stay out of politics, Ray.
Well, don't quote me on it, but I'm hoping that Parker will get the job and clean this place up. I have your photographs. You can use the magnifier. There's quite a lot of Cole, can you help me with a little experiment? Use the eyedropper in front of you. One drop from each of the bottles on the desk. Place the drops in the Petri dish.
I'm just praying the prince comes off scot-free.
It's okay, guys. Just a little experiment.
Can you guys knock it off? Everyone's still jumping from that bang this morning.
Very funny, Ray. You just took a couple years off my life expectancy.
Did the same trick to me about an hour ago.
So that was the stuff that caused the explosion.
I think so. Acetic anhydride is almost as explosive as nitro, and when mixed with perchloric acid, it's very unstable. It needs to be cooled constantly. We used linseed oil. You could add any organic compound to trigger an explosion.
3 little drops.
Yeah, and they were using a 100-gallon vat.
Stinks of petroleum.
Avgas, if I'm not mistaken. It's all around the floor. Hangstrom and McClellan are the same man.
The gas, Cole, the gas! We gotta get out of here right now!
By the stove! Shoot the gas line, Cole! We're out of here!
Shitheel. Come on, he's not getting away from us. We're gonna have to go through all the security men first. I hope you're ready for a fight, Cole.
Tires.
Explain this to me again. So the guy at the chemical plant, he's planning on selling his magic formula to another company and skipping town with his assistant, but he blows himself up before he can manage it. So why the dead body in the refrigerator?
Mapes, Captain. He was eliminating all competitors for the process. When it went bang, he burnt down the apartment to remove all connection between Hughes and the plant.
Mapes, right. I remember Vernon Mapes. The guy had good, honest cops hanging their heads in shame. Glad he's finally out of commission. I don't know if it'll do you any good, Phelps, but between the spruce goose and half the city exploding, might just have made the case of the decade.
Good morning, Doctor.
And a good morning to you too, Elsa. You look radiant.
Thank you, Doctor.
We haven't been seeing much of you lately, Elsa. You've been missing appointments.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I've been feeling much better.
That's very good to hear. And what has brought about this improvement?
It's the new man in my life. He's convinced me to fight my addiction.
Ah, the policeman from the newspapers. How has he coped with his fall from grace?
He can finally see things from a human perspective, rather than the ivory tower he created for himself. It's making him stronger, and it's making me stronger helping him.
You wouldn't make a bad analyst yourself, Elsa. Should we swap seats?
We're both finding we have a lot to live up.
And what is that?
In my case, Lou, he went through hell along with me and still came out smiling. In Cole's case, his friend, Jack Kelso.
Kelso?
You've heard of him?
No, I just like the sound of his name.
Cole and Jack are working on a case together.
Is Jack a policeman too?
No, he works for the district attorney.
What?
He's a special investigator. I thought you didn't know him.
I have never met the gentleman in question.
He has been looking into Lou's case. Cole thinks it might be linked to some fires he's investigating. You look pale, Doctor.
It's cold in here, Elsa. I think I'll close the window. Why are you looking at me like that, Elsa?
You arranged for Lou to work at Elysian Fields, Doctor.
Your fears are unfounded. I meet many people in my line of work. There are many ways that people can be helped. Finding their work is just one of them.
I don't believe you, Doctor. I've seen you with Monroe at the club.
I'm sorry that you have come to that conclusion, Elsa. I've always so enjoyed our conversation. I can see your future, Elsa. And Cole, the policeman. And Jack, the investigator. It's an unfortunate, grisly end.
I've come to help you, Doctor. To help you cross over. All your sins will be forgiven.